CCFM 107.5.
Right here on LTC. Welcome to the show, and hello to everybody. Maybe I haven't greeted everybody yet, but hello to you, and especially those who said hello earlier, but hello to you as well if you just joined me here on the show. I'm about to chat to a lady called Tamar Lazarus. She's from Wheelchairs of Hope, and we're talking about all the fantastic work that they are doing for the community. Without further ado, let me say hello to this lady. Tamar, welcome to LTC.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for hosting me on your amazing show.
Thank you for saying that, but we give God praise, of course, for everything, and good to connect with you. And we're talking about something fantastic that you guys are involved with in Wheelchairs of Hope. But there's other things we need to get to before we get into the whole nitty-gritty of how you are involved with the Wheelchairs of Hope project. And let's talk about, when you got to help me out here with this name, the pronunciation of this name. I think it's WIZO South Africa. That's spelled WIZO. But you probably will help me out tomorrow. How do we pronounce it?
Pleasure. Yes, thank you. Yes, WIZO, and it stands for Women International Zionist Organization. WIZO is Israel's leading NGO for education and social services. It was established over 100 years ago, and it promotes equal society for all, and it supports by a global network of Zionist women. So about 50 countries around the world where you have volunteers and members, women, Jews, non-Jews, and those that believe in Israel and in the right of Israel to exist and be there living as the Holy Land, and share the blessing of that country. We here in South Africa have centers in Cape Town and Johannesburg, in Durban, Port Elizabeth, and our women support our organization and the work that is done in Israel for all society in Israel. Everybody that lives in Israel can benefit from the projects that are mainly for women and children: education, schools, daycare center, shelters for women, and just changing the life of the people in Israel, no matter religion, faith. It's an apolitical organization, so we just look after people and humanity.
So it is the end of Women's Month. I can't believe it went so quickly by, and then I get to chat to a phenomenal woman as well. So let's cap this beautiful month off with some positivity, and let's talk about you spoke about all who's involved and who can get involved and who you serve and the like. But let's talk about women and just your role in empowering the ladies that you work with. Why is that so important?
Well, the organization started over 100 years ago, looking at the founding mothers, look at the needs at the time, over 100 years ago, in Israel. Then it was before the State of Israel even was established. And we know that in society, and we know it in South Africa, the women are the ones that keep the home, raise the children, and have to contribute to the society. Many have to work as well. And as women, we know that if our children are looked after, educated, and fed, then we look after ourselves, then we empower ourselves, then we let ourselves do the extra things that we might like to do. And we still felt that that is the way. If we empower the women, then the children will have that benefit. And if we look after the children, it gives an opportunity to the women to empower themselves. So that's what WIZO does in Israel, and we support that work here in fundraising around for those projects that we are in Israel. But we found that we're living in this country, and we want to help in this country too. So we bring the know-how and the ability that we see, the innovations that come from Israel to South Africa, that we can share as citizens of South Africa, we can share it here in South Africa too.
There's amazing technology coming out of Israel, but I also want to talk about something that you're passionate about, and let's talk about the wheelchairs that WIZO South Africa donate, and we can talk about the Israeli technology and innovation and how Israel is blessing the world through all her innovation.
Yep. So Israel has incredible innovation technology in many spheres. We know it through the agriculture, water, and that is shared around the world, and Israel is always happy to share that know-how. There are major innovation in IT, in medical, in any sphere, and it's there to be shared as a blessing to the world that we can. So we do a couple of things here that we try and share. We support food gardens, educate with technology that we try and help in areas that we can, and we have actually a couple of churches that have food gardens. We have in Khayelitsha that we try and support and help with know-how. And that's how we came to the Wheelchairs of Hope. We were introduced to this incredible NGO through the Embassy of Israel in Pretoria. They approached us in 2017 and said this is an innovation that came from Israel. And it fits with what we believe is offering children an opportunity to be educated through mobility. The wheelchairs of Hope is, as I said, an Israeli innovation. It's a chair that is suitable for kids between the ages of 5 and 9 years old, up to 40 kgs. And that have upper body mobility means that they are able to support their neck, head, and back in an upright chair. And the chairs are colorful, attractive, innovative. They are fun and beautiful, and it gives such a feeling of self-esteem to those kids because they are attractive chairs. So we decided that this is something that in South Africa there is a need for, and we found that especially children that are in between a situation that they cannot get a wheelchair. These children in this country, if they absolutely can't be mobile, do get a wheelchair eventually through the system. But there are children that the mobility is impaired. They're carried on their back. They're carried in prams, and they can't go. And this is a chair that we can supply to them, donate to them. And we got it through donors here in the country that our members, our friends, and donors within the community, our Jewish community now, that we purchased these wheelchairs, brought them to South Africa, and about 250 wheelchairs have been distributed already in the country, in South Africa, all across South Africa, to these children that are they're using. And one thing we found as well, giving a child mobility is giving their parents the ability to do things and be a better parent and be a happier parent to that child. So it's not only the child that is getting that gift.
And ultimately improves the quality of life, and that is what we want for everybody, and especially maybe the differently abled persons, where even that wheelchair just makes life a little bit more bearable, considering where they find themselves in life. And so I want you to maybe just talk a little bit more into the Wheelchair of Hope project and give us some examples of some of the children who have been given wheelchairs.
Okay. So the idea of the Wheelchairs of Hope when it started in Israel was to make it a chair that is accessible, it's not too expensive, it's affordable, and it's light. It's only 10 kilos, the chair, and the parts of it are very easily maintained. So the wheels are like bicycle wheels. Okay. They can be easily to maintain it when they receive it, and they're quite hardy, able not only any surface. You can really go on it. That is nice. And the children we give to institutions, schools, hospitals. For example, here in Cape Town, we gave to Macon Cottage, children's orthopedic hospitals. We gave to Ashland School to the blind. We don't even know. We think mobility. We only think legs. But we other children that have other. We have given to children that are victim of cancer. As a result of cancer, that they're too weak to walk. We have given to children that suffer from autism and other medical condition to help them with mobility. All around in Johannesburg, to the hospitals, daycare centers, and individuals. So wherever we can, and we would like to give more. And through your program, if there are people that know in the show that know places that have that there is a need, or individuals that have a need for this specific chair, because the chair has to be obviously suitable for that child. The way it is, we would like to donate and give more. And we have the ability to give more.
And I can already hear some people say, I would like to be able to reach out to people like you, Tamar. How do they do that? How do they contact you?
So the best, if they can email us to WIZO South Africa, WIZO South Africa, all in one, at gmail.com. And please, we will respond immediately.
Okay, so we got to just make it clear in terms of that email addresses. WIZO South Africa's WIZO South Africa, one word, at gmail.com. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so it's that simple. Yes. And I'm pretty sure that you'll get some people reaching out to you. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your heart for the people. It's amazing that when we just put it out there and you do good for others, how it comes back to you. And I wish that for you and the organization as well. And I want to say this to you. I said it to this other lady, the Deputy Ambassador to South Africa, Baruch Haba Bishem Adonai. I want to say that to you, blessed is he or she who comes in the name of the Lord, and may God bless the works of your hand even further. And thank you so much for being part of the show today.
Thank you, Marco, and can I bless back?
Bless me back.
And shalom, and thank you very much.
I received that. They say if you get blessed by a Jewish person, you are blessed. So I am blessed for life. I know that. And thank you so much, Tamar. And hopefully we get to chat again. And let me just give that email address again. I know people's asking already. It's WIZO South Africa, WIZO South Africa at gmail.com. So Tamar, with that, have a blessed Women's Month further. It's the end of it and the rest of the year as well. But thank you so much for what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
God bless you.
And goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That was Tamar Lazarus from Wheelchairs of Hope, and you can email her, especially those organizations who are in need of donations for wheelchairs. It's specifically suited to a certain grouping, younger folk as well. But you can find out more from them. Email them at WIZO South Africa, that's WIZO South Africa, one word, at gmail.com. That is how you get hold of them.
CCFM 107.5.